Hi there, Gemini. Healing Grasshopper here to do your last week in July reading, the 21st to the 31st. I mean, the 24th to the 31st. Okay, we'll see if that's reversed in a moment. Well, let's see. Okay. So the Six of Swords the Four of Swords is about you taking a pause. Um, yeah. Okay. You taking a pause because you have a lack of clarity here. There's something that you don't understand that you need to investigate here, which is what the moon is saying. Okay, not reversed. Okay. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So this is saying you have taken a pause and are approaching things cautiously because you are moving towards abundance. But this is a conscious effort you're making. It's not like something beyond your control. This is something that you're actually working towards. So this can mean the business. I just heard hobby. This could be some kind of thing that you are very familiar with, that you've carried with you for a while, that you're looking to monetize in some way. But this is like the early stages where you are trying to figure out how to put it together. So, and the moon is not feeling to me, there are different kinds of lack of clarity. Sometimes, it can be lack of clarity in the midst of like deception or toxicity. That's not what this is. This is more like, I'm sure like aces or pages are going to show up here. Maybe even some knights where you're just like, there's something I want to do, but I haven't figured out how to do it yet. Um, Let me stop and research things. Queen of Pentacles in the middle. Yeah. And it's under the moon. So, and in the center of your reading. So the Queen of Pentacles is about stability and confidence in your own confidence, in doing things under your own steam type of thing, where you're confident that your own thoughts and creativity are going to bring you where you want to be. And by the way, Nine of Cups here before the Queen of Pentacles is, and under the Four of Swords is about you arriving at your emotional well-being, you know, your happiness. And I don't feel any unhealthy energies here. This is all very healthy and like And you are Gemini, right? And you are starting the reading here with air, which is a swords card. So it's like you are utilizing your gifts to propel you forward. So, Gemini, if you had any doubts, conflicting thoughts, and that kind of thing, Spirit is reassuring you that you are on the right track and things are going to work out. So, you've got not reverse strength here. So, this is the staying in your power and recognizing your strengths that will bring you your W's as you move along. Because this woman is using her strengths, using what she knows she's good at to pacify this lion and produce a result that she wants. What else? Okay, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, and it's Queen of Wands. Gemini, you're doing big things. Neither of them reversed. You've got two queens that. Oh, you've got three queens. Okay. So these the Queen of Pentacles is about, I told you, deriving material wealth and abundance out of your creativity, right? Queen of Cups is minding your hopes and dreams and keeping it close to your chest, by the way, right? Because Queen of Cups is all about protecting one's own heart and one's own interests. So, and it's under this Four of Swords, which is one of the things that you should be considering because that's what this card is about. Pausing and considering. So, and one of those things that you're considering is Nine of Cups, what you want in life, and Queen of Cups, what you need to do along the way on your journey to this, which is protecting your hopes and dreams. So, this is, guys, I'm sure you've heard it before in some of the manifestation videos and that kind of thing. Manifestation videos and just general metaphysical talk that talks about when you have a desire that you're working towards in its early stages, you really don't want to share it. You don't want to do things like bounce it off other people and see what they think and that kind of thing. It's not for them to decide or contribute to your dreams. These are your interests that you need to protect because as you are, it's kind of like starting a fire. When you have I'm thinking of like Survivor for any of you who watch Survivor, and a big part of Survivor is knowing how to make fire, right? And they take these little, um, I forgot what you call them, but like little pieces of uh, coconut strands and that kind of thing for kindling. And they're taking the flint and lighting it on those little pieces of kindling so that they ignite, but you know, they're not they're not strong fuel for the fire. They're just to start the fire. And as soon as you start it with those little threads, they burn out really quickly. They're very fragile, right? And then you need to add like little sticks that are stronger that the fire can have fuel and catch on to. And then you add the bigger sticks and then the logs, right? So Queen of Cups is talking about that, where in the beginning stages of, putting together your desires, that you just have those little corn strands that you have to nurture and blow on gently and protect from the bigger winds and that kind of thing. So that's why in this reading you have this covered chalice where your dreams are fragile and you don't want other people's harsh energy interfering with your fragile dream. Queen of Wands is about having optimism that is going to, and by the way, wands are fire, right? Action. So this is the optimism that's going to fuel this fire. Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Wow. So at the end of the reading here, we have the Wheel of Fortune upright. Okay? So this is assurance from the universe after getting all of these queens, which is about power that you have within you. That good fortune is promised to you. Good karma. King of Swords. Yeah. King of Swords is about making sure that you protect your dream again, but Queen of Swords is kind of a passive protection, right? So that it passive because she's got a covered chalice, right? Which is passive. She's not really doing anything actively. She's just got the safeguards around her dream. This is more of an active um, energy where there is a conscious effort to eliminate things that don't serve your desires or don't feed your desires or work against your desires, right? But King of Swords is a card of observation. It's somewhat of a less harsh and less active energy than the, say, Queen of Swords, she's really swinging with that sword. This is like, okay, I'm going to be vigilant. This is vigilance. I'm going to make sure I am watching because if anything comes along that even gives you a hint of threatening your desires, it's time for you to nip it in the bud before it causes any harm to your desires. Gemini, I have chills. You've got something going on. I would love to discuss it in the comment section. I answer every single comment, by the way. Okay. We got some clarity cards coming. Yeah. Five of Wands talks about fighting for what you want. Often, this is pretty much the conflict card. But I don't believe that there are any like confrontations, but this is just the general fighting is struggling for what you want. And maybe the word struggling is misleading because I don't think that there's, real difficulty involved here because I really like I was feeling chills before. I had like an elated feeling. This is not something that's going to be burdensome for you, Gemini. This is going to be you feeling the universe propelling you forward. It's not like the past 20 years with Pluto and Capricorn where we felt like we were swimming against the tide. The astrological atmosphere is much lighter and much more supportive than it was before. And you're going to feel that. And that's apparent in all the cards here. But, no matter how supportive the energies are, when you're working towards something, there's an effort made. And this is really just pointing to that effort. Three of Pentacles. This is a pat on the back from the universe. There is a master artisan here at work that is interrupted by two patrons here who respect him, and see how he's slightly elevated from these two. It is a signal that he is not necessarily above him, but in the skill that he possesses is above them because they don't have that skill, which is why they're approaching this artisan. Like, artisan, we respect you and we admire you, and we are here to petition you to help us. So, all of that is talking about your competency, your skill, your expertise in what you are moving towards. And see, it's next to the Five of Wands that talks about in your struggle, never forget the value of your expertise and your competency in producing what you want to produce. You are worthy. You are a master at your craft. Three of Wands. Oh my God. Gemini. Three of Wands is about after you've put in the effort, or really while you're putting in the effort, but and see, this is attached to the Queen of Cups here. And remember, I was talking about the igniting of the fire. This is after the fire has been started, right? You go through all that effort of starting the fire, then it catches the fire. You've got to feed the fire. And then when you finally establish this fire, there's a stepping back from the fire and admiring your work and watching it grow. That's what Three of Wands is, right? Watching that fire grow and having confidence that the fire is going to grow even bigger into what you want. This is often called the watching your ships come in card. We need three more spirit, please. Clarity cards. King of Pentacles. Wow. This is a very nice reading, Gemini. I'm ready to claim this energy for myself. I mean, like I'm not an air sign. I'm an earth sign over here admiring this energy because, for earth signs, we got to work super hard and things happen very slowly. But this is like a very smooth energy, supportive energy, you know? And yeah, you know what? Spirit showing me again, the difference between the other thing that happens in Survivor is that sometimes a tribe is given a flint to start the fire, and other times they don't have a flint, so they've got to, take two sticks and rub them together. And it takes a lot of energy and a lot of time to get that fire started. But with the flint, there's some effort that needs to be made, but it's much easier to start the fire with the flint, right? So, like, there's a contrast between me as an earth sign having to rub the two sticks together to get that fire started. But you're Gemini's over here with the flints, you know? That's what King of Pentacles is talking about. You are starting that fire in the most efficient way, in the tried and true way. This is what I call the Warren Buffett card. You know, he is, he is full of wisdom and knows the most efficient way to get things done. Very impressed with this reading, Gemini. Two more cards, please. Good. Wow. It gets better and better. So you've got the Empress, the Emperor here, which is about confidence in his own efforts and resources. And it's attached to the King of Pentacles. These are very, very similar energies where these guys know who they are. They know that they are better than almost everyone at what they do. They know how to get what they want, and they don't have any doubts in their minds that they are going to get it. And if there are doubts that arise, they have enough strength to overcome them. Those doubts are fleeting. Okay. So we've got a very interesting clarification here, but it makes sense, right? You have the Three of Swords that's coming out to clarify the King of Swords. And we talked about the King of Swords being vigilant, right? And cutting out anything that threatens his interests. And then we have the Queen of Cups here. Let's not forget her, who is also got things locked down. She's got her interests locked. Why? Because you are protecting yourself against anyone who threatens your interests. Um, but Spirit is talking about, yeah, you don't see it yet. Spirit is talking about something that's going to come to cross your path in the near future where you are going to feel you're going to have a setback, okay? Which is expected. Not everything goes perfect in the world. Um, that's going to upset you. You know, it's like I just had a vision of like coffee spilling on blueprints, you know? Like you've spent a whole week or weeks like I'm thinking about an architect at his draft table who's taken weeks and weeks to draw blueprints for something that he wants to build. And then he spills coffee on it. And then it's like, oh my God, it's ruined all of this, beautiful drawing that I've that kind of thing. And Spirit is saying that there is a combination of you approaching things with caution, like let's rewind the tape, right? We've just watched the architect spill the coffee. Now we're going to rewind to just before the architect places the coffee precariously on the ledge on top of his drafting table. And him deciding, maybe I shouldn't put my coffee here. That kind of thing, where there needs to be an approach of caution here in moving forward um, in your haste to move forward. And that can happen often with air and fire signs where you can be a little too caught up with your head in the future, where you need to kind of have a balance and um, kind of allocate some of your viewpoints and your energy to the present, and not, you understand, and not have all of your energy geared towards the future. Okay, so there's got to be a balance between present and future here, because otherwise, if it's too much in the future, you might have a situation that is upsetting and sets you back, and okay. So do we have advice cards? No. And it's very interesting to me, um, Gemini. I got to tell you, like last year, for those of you who were with me last year, almost every video got an advice card, but it was more of an energy last year where there was consolation, where it was like, oh, collective, because it wasn't just you, Gemini, it was everybody in the collective, like, oh, collective, things are going to get better, I promise. And there was like this really consoling type energy that I was in for everyone. But the consolation is kind of over. It's like, okay, all the difficult part is over. We're going to roll up our sleeves and start building now. So there's less of those advice cards, which is like a pep talk type thing. And we're kind of past the pep talk because we are all moving into our power here. So there's just like a little advice and then, okay, a little like huddle of your spirit, you and your spirit guides. And then it's like, okay, back to work. Hi, you know. So things are going very well. So let's wrap this up. How does this relate to this week? Well, it's like I said, we're in a supportive energy and moving forward atmosphere. So the big ultimate payoff is not necessarily having happening in this week, but you're going to feel like you're getting somewhere, right? And that is going to feel good to you after emerging from that energy where you felt you were spinning your wheels and getting nowhere. So it's going to be a pleasurable week. Just look out for, be cautious and look for potential setbacks so you can nip them in the bud before they happen. Okay, Gemini? Fantastic energy. Looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. Like I said, I answer every single one with glee. I love engaging with you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. It's a very quick and free gesture. Doesn't cost you anything. That means the world to me. So I thank you in advance. Lovely. Um, don't forget to have a look at your moon, rising, and north node signs. There, there will be messages for you there. If you don't know what they are, you can always easily calculate them for free online. Just Google, calculate my blank sign, my moon, rising north node sign, and then come back to the Grasshopper channel and watch those corresponding videos for those signs. I've got playlists for you to easily access. I put everything in tidy lists. You can look in my on my channel in my playlist, and I have lists for each zodiac sign and other categories as well. Pick a card and time lists, other things. Okay. So thank you for joining my community. Thank you for spending time. Let's grow together. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss. I will speak to you soon. Love, life, and many blessings.